Greetings, esteemed listeners. I'm Equity Ed, and I'm delighted to have you join me today for another deep dive into the fascinating world of equity jurisprudence. Before we begin, I must remind you that the information provided in this discussion is intended for educational purposes only. It should not be construed as legal advice or a substitute for consultation with qualified legal professionals. The complexities of equity law are vast, and while we strive to present accurate and insightful content, the application of these principles can vary widely depending on individual circumstances. Always seek personalized advice from a licensed attorney for any specific legal concerns you may have. Now let's explore today's topic. Equity jurisprudence, a fundamental element of the legal tradition, offers a crucial counterbalance to the rigid structure of common law. Rooted in principles of fairness and justice, equity jurisprudence ensures that legal outcomes align with moral righteousness, especially in complex cases where traditional legal rules may fall short. In today's discussion, we will delve deep into the intricate relationship between the concept of the secured party creditor and trust law, exploring why the secured party creditor functions as a domestic trust and the significant risks involved if this trust is not meticulously crafted. This discussion is particularly relevant for individuals seeking to understand how equity jurisprudence operates within the framework of modern law, and why the pure equitable trust remains the most viable option for those desiring privacy and autonomy. Our exploration will also touch on the historical roots of equity jurisprudence, offering insights into how these principles have evolved over time and their ongoing relevance in today's legal landscape. As we journey through this complex topic, it is crucial to note that the focus here is not on providing a remedy, but on offering an informed perspective on the legal principles that underpin the concept of the secured party creditor and the pure equitable trust. The foundations of equity jurisprudence. To fully understand the modern complexities of the secured party creditor and the pure equitable trust, one must first appreciate the historical foundations of equity jurisprudence. Emerging in England as a response to the limitations of common law, equity jurisprudence was designed to address situations where the strict application of legal rules would result in injustice. This body of law provided a necessary balance, ensuring that the spirit of the law prevailed over its letter in cases where rigid legal frameworks proved inadequate. Historical development of equity jurisprudence. The origins of equity jurisprudence can be traced back to the 14th century, with the establishment of the Court of Chancery. Unlike common law courts, which adhered strictly to precedent, the Court of Chancery was guided by principles of fairness, conscience, and moral righteousness. The Lord Chancellor, often referred to as the keeper of the king's conscience, presided over this court, ensuring that justice was done in cases where common law could not provide an adequate remedy. Over time, the Court of Chancery developed a body of law that was more flexible and adaptable than common law. This flexibility allowed it to address complex legal issues such as trusts and fiduciary duties that could not be resolved through strict legal rules. Trusts, in particular, became a central aspect of equity jurisprudence, serving as a means of separating legal ownership from beneficial ownership to protect assets and ensure they were managed according to the grantor's wishes. The importance of equity jurisprudence grew over the centuries, influencing the development of legal systems in England and its colonies, including the American colonies. By the time of the American Revolution, equity jurisprudence had become a well-established body of law, providing a crucial counterbalance to the rigid rules of common law. The role of trusts in equity jurisprudence. Trusts have long been a cornerstone of equity jurisprudence, providing a legal framework for separating legal and beneficial ownership. This separation is essential for protecting assets and ensuring they are managed according to the grantor's intentions. The concept of the trust can be traced back to medieval England, where landowners sought to avoid feudal obligations by transferring their lands to trusted individuals who would hold the land for their benefit. Over time, the use of trusts expanded beyond land to include various forms of property, and the principles governing trusts became more refined. By the 16th century, the Statute of Uses attempted to curb the use of such arrangements by transferring the beneficial use back to the legal owner. However, the resilience of equity jurisprudence ensured that the trust as a legal concept continued to thrive, adapting to the changing legal landscape. In equity jurisprudence, a trust is distinguished by its fiduciary nature, with the trustee bound by law to act in the best interests of the beneficiary. This fiduciary duty is the foundation of the trust relationship, ensuring that the trust operates fairly and justly. The principles of equity, which prioritize fairness and justice over strict legal rules, are particularly important in the context of trusts, where the interests of the beneficiary must be protected against potential abuses by the trustee. The emergence of the secured party creditor. The concept of the secured party creditor is a relatively recent development, emerging within the framework of the Uniform Commercial Code, UCC, in the United States. A secured party creditor is an individual or entity that holds a security interest in the debtor's property, which acts as collateral for a loan or obligation. This security interest gives the secured party creditor certain rights and priorities over other creditors in the event of the debtor's default. The role of the UCC in modern secured transactions. The UCC, first published in 1952, was designed to harmonize and modernize the law of commercial transactions across the United States. Article 9 of the UCC specifically deals with secured transactions, including the creation, perfection, and enforcement of security interests. A security interest is a legal claim on collateral that has been pledged, usually to obtain a loan. The secured party creditor is the holder of this security interest, which grants them priority over other creditors if the debtor defaults on the obligation. For many individuals seeking greater control over their financial affairs, becoming a secured party creditor is seen as a way to assert their sovereignty and protect their assets from government and creditor claims. This process typically involves filing a UCC-1 financing statement, which publicly records the security interest and establishes the creditor's priority in the debtor's property. The secured party creditor as a domestic trust. The secured party creditor arrangement can be viewed as a form of domestic trust. In this arrangement, the debtor often acts as both the grantor and the trustee, while the creditor, sometimes the same individual in a different legal capacity, acts as the beneficiary. This dual role underscores the complexity and risk associated with the secured party creditor arrangement. In theory, by creating such a trust, the individual separates their legal and beneficial interests in the property. The trust holds the legal title, while the individual retains the beneficial interest, which is intended to protect the assets from outside claims. However, this arrangement must be meticulously crafted, as any errors can have significant consequences. 3. The risks of falling into U.S. citizen status. One of the most significant risks in the secured party creditor arrangement is the possibility that the grantor might inadvertently revert to U.S. citizen status. This risk arises when the trust is not created or maintained with absolute precision. U.S. citizenship carries with it a range of legal and financial obligations, including tax liabilities and compliance with federal regulations, which can be detrimental to those seeking to operate outside these constraints. The implications of U.S. citizenship. U.S. citizenship is a legal status that confers both rights and obligations. While citizenship provides protections under U.S. law, it also imposes significant responsibilities, particularly in the realms of taxation and legal compliance. The U.S. is one of the few countries that taxes its citizens on their worldwide income, regardless of where they reside. For individuals seeking to maintain financial privacy and autonomy, retaining U.S. citizen status can pose a considerable burden. The risk of falling back into U.S. citizen status is particularly pronounced in the context of the secured party creditor arrangement. If the trust is not recognized as valid under U.S. law, the assets may be considered to belong to the individual in their personal capacity rather than to the trust. This situation could expose the individual to legal claims, creditor actions, and government oversight. Legal scrutiny and government intervention. The act of asserting one's status as a secured party creditor can attract significant attention from government authorities, who may view the arrangement as an attempt to evade legal and financial obligations. This scrutiny can lead to legal challenges, audits, and other forms of government intervention, undermining the very privacy and autonomy that the individual sought to achieve. Furthermore, the legal complexity of the secured party creditor arrangement means that any inaccuracies or inconsistencies in the trust documents could be exploited by creditors or government authorities to challenge the validity of the trust. This potential for legal challenges underscores the importance of precision and expertise in creating and maintaining such arrangements. I-4. The pure equitable trust, the safeguard for privacy and autonomy. Given the risks associated with the secured party creditor arrangement, many legal experts argue that the pure equitable trust is the only viable option for those seeking privacy and autonomy. A pure equitable trust is one that is created and governed solely by the principles of equity jurisprudence without reliance on statutory or common law principles. This type of trust operates exclusively within the realm of equity, where the trustee holds legal title to the property and the beneficiary holds the equitable title. The fiduciary nature of the pure equitable trust. In a pure equitable trust, the trustee is bound by a fiduciary duty to act in the best interests of the beneficiary. This fiduciary duty is the cornerstone of the trust relationship, ensuring that the trust operates fairly and justly. The principles of equity demand that the trustee administer the trust with the utmost good faith, loyalty, and care, safeguarding the beneficiary's interests. Unlike statutory or common law trusts, which are subject to extensive regulation and oversight, a pure equitable trust operates in a more flexible and discretionary manner. This flexibility is particularly valuable for those who seek to maintain privacy and autonomy, as it allows the trust to be tailored to the specific needs and circumstances of the parties involved. By operating within the realm of equity, the pure equitable trust minimizes the risk of government intervention and legal challenges, offering a higher degree of protection for the assets it holds. The challenges of creating a pure equitable trust. Despite its advantages, the creation and maintenance of a pure equitable trust require a high degree of legal precision and expertise. Any errors or inconsistencies in the trust documents can compromise the validity of the trust, exposing the assets to legal claims, creditor actions, and government oversight. For this reason, it is essential to work with legal professionals who are well versed in the principles of equity jurisprudence and have experience in crafting pure equitable trusts. The trust must be carefully drafted to ensure that it meets all the requirements of equity jurisprudence. This includes specifying the duties and powers of the trustee, clearly defining the rights of the beneficiary, and ensuring that the trust operates in a manner consistent with the grantor's intentions. Additionally, the trust must be administered with strict adherence to fiduciary principles, as any breach of these principles could result in legal challenges that undermine the trust's effectiveness. V. Equity jurisprudence before the incorporation of the United States. To fully appreciate the significance of the pure equitable trust, it is essential to understand the historical context of equity jurisprudence before the incorporation of the United States. Prior to the American Revolution, the legal system in the colonies was heavily influenced by English law, including the principles of equity jurisprudence that had developed over centuries. The influence of the Court of Chancery. In England, the Court of Chancery played a central role in the administration of equity. The court's jurisdiction extended to cases involving trusts, estates, contracts, and other matters where legal rights and obligations were not easily defined by common law. The court's decisions were guided by principles of fairness, conscience, and moral righteousness, rather than by strict legal precedent. These principles were carried over to the American colonies, where they influenced the development of colonial law. Equity jurisprudence provided a framework for addressing legal disputes that could not be adequately resolved by common law courts. This framework was particularly important in cases involving trusts, where the court's role was to ensure that the trustee acted in accordance with the grantor's wishes and in the best interests of the beneficiary. The evolution of equity jurisprudence in America. Following the American Revolution and the incorporation of the United States, the legal system in the new nation began to diverge from its English roots. While many of the principles of equity jurisprudence were retained, the new federal government established its own legal and regulatory framework, which gradually supplanted many of the traditional equity principles. Despite these changes, equity jurisprudence continued to play a significant role in the development of American law, particularly in areas such as trust law, contract law, and remedies. The pure equitable trust in particular remained a powerful tool for those seeking to protect their assets and maintain their privacy and autonomy. By operating within the realm of equity, the pure equitable trust provided a means of safeguarding assets from legal claims, creditor actions, and government oversight, while ensuring that the trust operated in accordance with the grantor's intentions. Thus, the modern relevance of equity jurisprudence. In today's legal landscape, the principles of equity jurisprudence are more relevant than ever. As individuals and entities navigate an increasingly complex and regulated world, the flexibility and discretion offered by equity jurisprudence provide a valuable alternative to the rigid rules of statutory and common law. This relevance is particularly evident in the context of trusts, where the principles of equity continue to play a crucial role in protecting assets and ensuring that they are managed according to the grantor's wishes. The resilience of equity jurisprudence. One of the key strengths of equity jurisprudence is its ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Unlike statutory or common law, which can be rigid and difficult to change, equity jurisprudence is inherently flexible and responsive to individual needs. This flexibility allows it to address complex legal issues that cannot be resolved by strict legal rules, offering a more nuanced and just outcome. The pure equitable trust exemplifies this resilience. By operating within the realm of equity, the pure equitable trust offers a powerful tool for those seeking to protect their assets and maintain their privacy and autonomy. It allows for the separation of legal and beneficial ownership, ensuring that the assets are managed in accordance with the grantor's intentions, free from government oversight and legal challenges. The challenges of maintaining equity jurisprudence. Despite its advantages, equity jurisprudence is not without its challenges. The creation and maintenance of a pure equitable trust require a high degree of legal expertise and attention to detail. Any errors or inconsistencies in the trust documents can compromise the validity of the trust, exposing the assets to legal claims, creditor actions, and government oversight. Moreover, the principles of equity jurisprudence are not as widely understood or practiced as they once were. As the legal landscape has evolved, many of the traditional principles of equity have been supplanted by statutory and common law. This shift has made it more difficult for individuals to access the benefits of equity jurisprudence, particularly in the context of trusts. To overcome these challenges, it is essential to work with legal professionals who are well versed in the principles of equity jurisprudence and have experience in creating and maintaining pure equitable trusts. These professionals can help ensure that the trust is created and maintained in accordance with the highest standards of legal precision, protecting the assets and ensuring that the trust operates as intended. 7. The future of equity jurisprudence. As we look to the future, It is clear that the principles of equity jurisprudence will continue to play a crucial role in shaping the legal landscape. The challenges posed by an increasingly complex and regulated world make the flexibility and discretion offered by equity jurisprudence more valuable than ever. By providing a framework for fairness, justice, and moral righteousness, equity jurisprudence offers a powerful alternative to the rigid rules of statutory and common law. The enduring importance of the pure equitable trust. The pure equitable trust stands as a testament to the enduring importance of equity jurisprudence. By allowing for the separation of legal and beneficial ownership, the pure equitable trust provides a means of protecting assets and maintaining privacy and autonomy, free from government oversight and legal challenges. This flexibility makes the pure equitable trust an invaluable tool for those seeking to navigate the complexities of the modern legal landscape. As legal professionals continue to adapt to the changing legal environment, the principles of equity jurisprudence will remain a vital resource. By understanding and applying these principles, legal professionals can help their clients protect their assets, maintain their privacy and autonomy, and ensure that justice prevails. Conclusion: the power of equity jurisprudence. In conclusion, equity jurisprudence has played a central role in shaping the legal landscape we know today. From its origins in medieval England to its continued influence in modern American law, equity jurisprudence has provided a framework for fairness, justice, and moral righteousness. The pure equitable trust, in particular, offers a powerful tool for those seeking to protect their assets and maintain their privacy and autonomy. However, as we have seen, the creation and maintenance of a pure equitable trust require a high degree of precision and attention to detail. Any errors or inconsistencies in the trust documents can undermine the entire arrangement, leading to unintended consequences. It is essential to work with legal professionals who are well versed in the principles of equity jurisprudence and who have experience in creating and maintaining pure equitable trusts. As we continue to navigate an increasingly complex and regulated world, the principles of equity jurisprudence will remain as relevant as ever. By understanding these principles and how they apply to modern legal and financial systems, we can better protect our assets, maintain our privacy and autonomy, and ensure that justice prevails. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of equity jurisprudence and the pure equitable trust. I hope this discussion has provided valuable insights into the complexities and importance of these concepts. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about equity jurisprudence, I encourage you to explore the rich history and principles that have shaped this fascinating area of